Idiom, as described in Webster's dictionary, is a phrase or expression whose meaning isn't obvious from the individual words, but often added with a bit of humor. Examples of this include kicking the bucket, spilling the beans, running on fumes, or the most common, pull yourself together. There is also the English idiom of pulling your leg, which means to tease and joke in a manner that someone says something outlandish that isn't true. Or is it? Episode 19, Pulling a Leg. Good evening, Echo. How are we?
I'm about on my last leg here. How are you?
I am surviving. It is currently the next night after your discussion with Beans and your little escapades from seeing your mother to digging up a poor boy's bones. But he's fine with it because now his face isn't as itchy and now he permanently has one of his pinky bones that is a crimson red color. You awake at the Velvet Pussycat in Rafe's room, who he has very kindly agreed to let you room with him until they can figure out either a room for you or get your place set up. It is going to be another 2 days before Rose Contact Rook appears. And you actually had just heard from Rafe that he had finally gotten a message from Seraphina. The message had said, yes, she is fine. No, do not open the club tonight, and that she will explain everything before sunrise. Currently in the room is... Well, currently the only one in the room, actually, besides Rafe, who's about to go out and do some inventory shit, is Candy. Your other ghouls and Ward are nowhere to be seen, and they weren't there when you woke up.
So rouse check is a success.
Excellent. You're not more hungry.
Guess I'll pull myself up out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll take a trip down. We'll get dressed and take a trip downstairs.
Downstairs, you see that Rhonda looks a little bit better. She is currently sitting at a table with Chris. Chris seems to be animatedly retelling a story of some sort as Marisol comes by and puts 2 hot plates in front of the both of them with empanadas, as well as some paella. Yellow rice hits your nose, filled with spices and the like.
Marisol, honey, you know you're allowed to take a night off.
She looks at you, tilts her head. I don't know that phrase, unfortunately.
I'll bet you don't. When was the last time you actually, had a night to yourself? In other words, it's been too long. That wasn't supposed to be stuff.
I was going to say most likely 26 years ago.
In other words, it has been way too long.
I am fine, Echo. I appreciate the concern, but everything is fine. Oh, she takes out a small notebook that she has gotten used to carrying around. Corey isn't here.
Where are they?
They got invited out by some friends.
Anyone we know, or anyone I'm gonna have to check up on?
From their school.
Okay, give me a prize.
It is... I will. I had at first thought to say no, but this is also the first time they've been invited out since their parents passed several years ago.
Keep me apprised. I have to go make it.
I made sure that they have both their stone and their phone on them, and they have assured me that they will contact us if anything happened. I do believe they actually used cat calls to go to the place.
Good.
Also, apparently, they have become a somewhat favorite, and there was an argument with some of the staff earlier.
For catcalls?
For Corey.
Yeah, but catcalls playing favorites over Corey?
Oh no, the members of the staff here. So apparently last night, Corey was taking photos of Isolde, and then when all of us went to go do that matter in the graveyard, their top star, Celeste, overheard it and asked if Corey would take photos of them, to which Corey said yes, and then they all started taking turns, and they tried to insist on paying Corey, and Corey tried saying no. And none of them took no for an answer, so then there was a debate about rates. And eventually, I think the gentleman Victor just snuck a couple of bills into Corey's bag when they were not looking.
Everybody is entitled to earn money, and I mean,
Apparently, Celeste plans to have some of the shots used in the next bit of what's that English term? Display? The cardboard things that stand.
Oh, you're talking about like promo material and stuff.
That, yes.
Anyways, moving on.
I understand that the employer of this place has been found.
First I'm hearing of it.
Apparently, she was found, and about 5 minutes ago, they took her to her office. She had requested to be left alone, but said all was well, but they were still trying to figure out what happened. Well, you were unconscious? No. Mr. Blackwood was looking for you earlier, though.
Stop this evening.
You are welcome. I have to make sure. I will take time for myself later once I am sure these two, she says, looking at Chris and Rhonda, who are noticeably avoiding eye contact, learn to eat more than twice a day.
Walk over. Ball up my hands. Fists on the table. Just kind of right down.
Sup, boss? Sup, boss? What's up? Chris says he has like a smile on his face, like he knows exactly what's about to happen. Rhonda is pointedly just like has the look of like a guilty teenager, like, hi, Echo.
Right here for him. Right here in my eyes. Both of you.
Are you gonna do that weird Jedi mind trick again?
You are no use to me.
I had a sandwich.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, boss.
Good.
Chris rings out their phone. No new word on any of the Macy Velour case. It looks like that's kind of run its course. My guy is still staking out the nightlife area. They did see the woman with the purple hair go by a couple more times. Purple. Apparently she's been the one that's been trying to buy the place the last couple of days. Owner apparently is starting to, like, give in, apparently, because let's just say their Yelp review went from like a 4.9 to a 2.6. Some people are even saying, oh, it's haunted with bad juju, which before I would have called bullshit, but now I'm not so sure anymore.
What else?
Let's see. Jeremy is still being his usual self. He's gotten really good at walking around in that cast, though.
I'm not He's actually doing something.
Who are you and what have you done to my boss?
I'm fine. See, he turns out he's
You don't say?
laughed
I am
up.
so sorry.
Laughed up.
Eric called. There's still no leads on the break-in. And they got partial prints and they got nothing. So the guy either has no priors or is a ghost or is a vampire from before the time they took fingerprints. Your landlord called Rhonda. Ronnie begins to speak. He's doing fine. Apparently my uncle is in town now to check up on my dad and him to make sure everything's going okay. And they had someone from the fire department inspection unit come by to check the apartment complex. They're calling it faulty wiring, but apparently they have to gut the apartment just to make sure there's no more faulty wiring. Luckily, though, insurance is going to cover it because Grandpa was very good at making sure there was insurance. And since he has a log of all the times he's done maintenance on the place, they're not looking at it as an arson case. I will. Oh, there was one small thing with Corey. So you know how high school students can only miss so many days of school before cops get involved? Well, since they missed 2 back-to-back days, apparently the counselor might have called their foster family to see what was up.
I'm not liking
Luckily they didn't pick up. Turns out they're out of the country on a trip right now, but they did leave a message. They have a house line. You can believe that. But it was a good thing Corey went in and they explained how I'm not sure how good of a liar the kid is, but apparently they said there's been some things up in the air and that currently the phone lines are getting tussled around, and they now gave Marisol's phone number and said to contact her with future things. But that phone call, unless we figure out a way to delete it, might become an issue until we get them, adopted. They didn't want to tell you because they didn't want to worry you, but I also know if we didn't tell you, you would be pissed.
Okay, so got a voicemail. Do we know if they have a voicemail or if they have an old school?
That we don't know. We know they have a landline, though. Apparently they have it in case they have foster kids who are with them but aren't old enough or responsible enough for a cell phone. Which, not gonna lie, from what Corey's told me, kind of concerning that they would have kids like that who aren't really able to, communicate openly with people, but that is also not in our control right now. The kid was very excited to be invited out. Apparently he was with some of the popular kids or whatever. There's a party or a hangout or something. They assured us they would be fine.
Okay.
Aside from that, I don't think there's anything else. The staff here seem to be a bit more energetic since they found out Seraphina's back or come back in here.
Something. I'm gonna...
Chris blinks. Is that common?
Let's just say I should do something about that. Sneak in slip.
Okay. Without a word, the two of them roll up their sleeves so that way you have easy access to their wrists. Okay, how much hunger are you taking off?
2 points.
All right, so that means you're going to take 1 point from each. Easy enough. Luckily, they have a lot of blood. Both of them have... You notice this, that they have a very similar taste to the nurse that you had, the very deep, rich, sanguine-like taste that just seems to slowly drip down your throat, filling you with that power, making you feel a little stronger, a little faster. As this occurs. And with that, you are now back down to only 1 hunger. And hopefully you're not going to tempt the beast too much.
My sheet said I was a...
Never mind. You're back. So never mind. You're back. You're at 2. 2 hunger.
Are we playing by mini games?
Yes, we are. Actually, wait 1 second. Brain?
You need to be...
All right, I believe the new mechanics are if it's your preferred feeding style, it gives you 2 instead of 1, correct? No? All right, what's the new mechanic? Please remind Brain. All right, where's my phone? Where's my celly phone? New mechanic. Mm. For the time being, you are fine because the fact these two, aside from the going out to the cemetery, have not left the Velvet Pussycat.
Well, if that's everything. Yes. And if I hear that you two aren't eating, you're going to be having
Chris, it currently has the look on his face like he's debating the pros and cons of that. Whereas Ronnie's just like, yes, Echo.
see Chris debating for a moment. Potentially about your continued employment.
Boss! Boss, that's just cruel! Cruel and unusual punishment.
Throw home the point, though, didn't it?
Are you gonna follow these rules too, then, and make sure you actually eat more?
Did I not just?
Me.
When I
It kind of is for my continued employment.
When I sir, you belong to me.
Fine. Go talk to big, tall, and muscle-bound. He says as he takes out a notebook to jot some things down. When you hear, I have a feeling he's referring to me.
Big, tall, and muscle-bound. How rude.
You actually see Marcus, the 6'5" tall kindred who, quite frankly, has the appearance of someone who could lift cars as a warm-up. He is currently wearing his typical ensemble, which is the jeans, belt, black tee. This one noticeably does not have staff security on it for once. Seems to be his casual look. Well, I'm doing a bit better now that Miss Seraphina's back.
I don't doubt it. Rushing.
Well, from what catcalls can tell us since they went to go pick her up, she was at the hospital. The healing center. Yeah, her and... Let's see. Well, they don't have a coterie name yet, but... the group Isabella's been hanging out with. Apparently they all were there. And apparently, all of them can't remember the last 3 nights. Same thing with the bodyguards they have down there.
Sure. Might make for a good story.
Yep. If they can. From the few words I was actually able to get with Miss Seraphina, she's a bit hungry right now, so she doesn't want to be disturbed for the time being. But they were a bit concerned about what happened.
Marisol said
I was, since it seems things are starting to calm down, and I know you've been itching for another story. He actually holds up 2 movie tickets. They have an indie festival happening at the Metro Cinema, I think it's called. One second, where is it? Where did I put it down? Stupid.
one just down.
Yes, I was wondering if you want to go with me.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Let's go.
Excellent. They're playing bad vampire movies, he says as he turns around to walk.
Let's go. I go.
All right. Excellent. So the 2 of you go into the garage. You see that there's quite a bit of hustle and bustle. You see one employee off to the side who seems to be kind of holding court. It seems they're all listening to her as she's instructing them, you gotta go here, you go here, you go here. Yes, Sweets is fine. My sister is fine. She's always fine. If not, I'm gonna beat her ass. No, Timothy has asked for the night off. He's fine. And they're all scrambling to get things done. But there is a positive energy to all of them as they're scrambling to get this done, as Marcus kind of ignores them and walks straight to his truck.
Listening for a moment as I'm following.
You hear the woman who seems to be in charge speaking with another, no, listen, Timothy doesn't ask for nights off that often, and if he wants to play chauffeur for the little non-binary being to make sure they're okay, fine, whatever. Good kid. Now, you need to go pick up this stupid guy who went to the metal nest and apparently got his leg bitten off by one of the friggin', it's either a dog or a kindred. Hoping it's a kindred, because god damn it, that'd be a sad thing to put down a dog for someone being stupid. Also, apparently, someone go by and make sure no one towed Sweets' car, because then she's gonna bitch about it, and I do not have the mental capacity for that right now.
And I'll go get the truck.
Marcus, who has already entered the truck and done up his belt, that is Catalina. She is the owner of Catcalls.
You don't say.
She is very good at what she does.
Expect nothing less.
Also, don't piss her off.
Noted.
Let's just say, he says, as he puts the car into drive, their clan... Have you run into many Brujas?
No?
They are basically the personification of anarchists with and let's just say their clan bane, which is not something you have to worry about, is their temper. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's already started driving. The drive to the Cinemaplex is relatively easy. It's oh, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I thought. The indie theater. I had to look that up to do some geography things and also make sure there. Yeah, the arts district. I had to look it up to make sure there was indie theaters. It doesn't take long to get there because traffic is light. It is early in the evening. It is also a Thursday night, so typically people don't have a lot going on Thursday nights. So I had a word from my old CO. He's going to want to talk to you about some of the logistics about adopting Corey. Some of which we're gonna have to fudge the paperwork for.
How bad?
Well, if it's anything like the adoption... Now, mind you, the adoption process has probably changed a bit since the last time I had to worry about it, but they're going to check your income. They're going to see the living situation, see if there's a room for Corey, since they are over the age of 12 and need a room of their own. You'll need references from, ideally, one from your workplace, a family member, and a close friend. Ideally, in a situation, you would have some form of childcare background and or be a foster home or a foster placement to begin with, which is where we might need to fudge the paperwork a bit. And, well, while that's getting sorted, they might want Corey back at their foster house. Otherwise, it looks like you kidnapped them. Which is not ideal. Well, when I was dealing with it, it was a bit more difficult, but also easier to fudge the paperwork. With Corey, there's a few ways to go about it. One of which is we could try getting her emancipated. Another way, technically speaking, I am still a foster placement. So they could stay.
The workplace.
And to my knowledge, you don't have an active income. And trust me when I say my CO can definitely help you with the ins and outs of it a bit more than I can. In all honesty, typically I just hand him a stack of paper and like, do your lawyery thing, and he does a pretty good job.
Fair. Then I will... You know what? Tell your CO I'll be down. That I'll absolutely talk to him at some point.
The other thing is typically there might... Now, hopefully, if we can get this done without it needing to go to court, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
Because as you know, most court proceedings happen during the hours of 9 to 5.
Yeah, that is a thing. What do you recommend for that?
Well, there's a few ways we can go about it. Get a proxy. Say, what I was able to do was I could have said I was on leave. Use my old military issues, and at the time I had Erica as my proxy, and basically everything turned out fine with that.
One step at a time. I suppose the next step is to talk to your ex-CO then.
Mm-hmm.
But enough of that for tonight. Why take me out to a movie tonight?
I don't know if you noticed, there's not a lot that we can do for dates.
I mean, there is. We just gotta be creative, that's all.
Well, that and this little film festival just starts tonight. I figured it'd be something you could look into for an article. Get your mind off of everything that's been going on.
I mean, to be fair, I am always down for bad vampire interpretation.
Ah, yes. I hate to say it, it is a guilty pleasure of mine, especially when they try to figure out all the ways that can kill us.
Do you know what's
like a stake to the heart?
Do you know what's planned?
Something that a local artist did. Very low budget, less than B rated.
Do we have a name?
If I recall, I believe they called it Tooth and Claw.
I love that so much. Well, on that note,
and with that, you guys arrive at the movie place. It's not a theater.
technically it is.
I keep wanting to call it a theater. Okay, at the movie theater. There are actually a couple of people there. You see a couple of hipsters.
Yep.
You see a few people that seem to be a bit more dressed up. Seems they're the ones that are actually who did the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who are talking with some of the locals, as well as looks like there might be an issue with the projector and they're just trying to solve it before the movie starts. You guys do get a few odd looks, but that might have more to do with your guys' general appearance and the fact that Marcus is currently at least 5 inches taller than everybody.
We just kind of smile as we walk by.
Marcus and you head into the movie theater. There's no need to get popcorn. There's no need to get drinks. You're starting to understand why Marcus said that there's not a lot that Kindred can do for dates, since a lot of dates you know of usually involve food or drink.
Fair.
Which is something you guys no longer need. And with that, the movie does, you guys go into the theater, you find your seats, the slight feeling of your shoes sticking due to spilt drinks, popcorn. There's that smell of the buttery popcorn, of overly sugared drinks, of open candies as you guys settle into your seat. And with that, the movie starts. And it is awful. But not like bad awful. It's the kind of awful where you can tell that it was a bunch of university students who tried to put this together for a weekend, and they seem to have just as fun making it as they did, because you can actually hear some of them in the front make some commentary like, oh my god, this angle was terrible, why'd we do it? And the blood effects, yes, most of it was the proper fake blood, but other times you can tell either they ran out of budget or they were scrambling to finish and it was obviously just ketchup. And in the end, they have most of the end credits. There's bloopers happening. One of which where it's like, hey guys, how do you want your steak? And you see that's one of the guys that has the stake through his heart, and he's just going, And there's like several groans throughout the whole thing. overall, for a university film that obviously looked like it was just a passion project between a bunch of friends, it would have been a solid 7 out of 10. For like a movie, though, probably like 30% tomatoes.
You know what? I'll take it. Seems like a good movie.
Mm-hmm. They obviously tried their best. It was a classic of werewolf versus vampire versus hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, they all died.
They all died.
Because of a dinosaur.
Because of a dinosaur.
An inflatable dinosaur.
Excellent.
Which appeared to be the spoof ending because it appeared at the end of the credits.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. And in the end, it was one of those movies where you're just there to enjoy the atmosphere. You could tell as the lights come on and a couple of people, the few people that are there actually clap, and the small group of people who were in the movie stand up and give like very mocking big bows.
Yeah, I'll give her
all while laughing their asses.
I'll give a hearty round of applause.
Marcus will do the same. Just be like, and that is an example of the kind of shit we've had to go through for a very long time.
I don't know. I think it was kind of adorable.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It was better than most I had to see.
No.
And for the most part, sometimes they're not wrong about the stakes.
So, what's next on the evening, or for the evening?
As you guys are leaving, but he has to stop as his phone starts to vibrate. He looks down at it with a confused expression on his face. 1 second, I have to take this. Do you look at the screen to see who it is?
Sure.
You see on the screen, there's no photo, but you do see the name Ashlyn Blackwood. He steps to the side, says, Ashlyn, what's going on? Okay, well, you're not screaming, so I'm guessing it's your rat leg. Uh-huh. Okay. Are you safe? Okay. No, Sweet Pea, it's fine. I'll be there in a bit. Yes, I have your crutches. How'd you break the leg? Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll be there soon. And you're safe though? All right. Love you too, Sweet Pea. I'll be there soon. And he hangs up. So you remember how I said I have a kid?
Yeah.
So it turns out she and a bunch of her friends went to supposedly a haunted abandoned building. Her leg fell through one of the planks and her foot broke off. So now we gotta go and get her.
Broke off.
Yeah, broke off.
Stupid question. Was she partying with a bunch of school friends by any chance?
I think she mentioned there's a couple of different high schoolers there.
I swear to God. Alright, let's go.
Alright. He actually opens the back of the bed of the truck to check something. You peek in. You actually do see there seem to be not like crutches people use for broken legs, but the kind that often amputees use to get around. He's like, all right, well, they're there at least. He says he closes it. All right, let's go. How'd you know there was going to be high schoolers?
Guess why Corey's not at home tonight.
Well then, let's see where this goes.
My thoughts exactly.
And as the two of you get in the car, we're going to take a quick bio break because I have to. You are in your truck. Or not your truck, Marcus's truck. Marcus seems oddly calm about this whole situation. The GPS tells you it's going to take about 30 minutes to get to the area. You also know that is an area of town that is typically has a lot of abandoned buildings.
I'm going to check in on Corey's stone, the bloodstone.
Okay. How are you checking in with it?
Well, you said I'd know where it is at all times, yes? Or I'd know roughly in what direction?
Yes. So, as you feel it, it is roughly in the direction you guys are heading.
Of course it is. I'll keep monitoring that as we go.
Marcus speaks up as the drive. I'd like to say I'm not surprised that Ashlyn is in an abandoned building.
Yeah, it looks like we were right about Corey, too.
Surprised about that, because I didn't... Ashlyn goes to one of the more prestigious schools, so unless Corey has a scholarship...
All I know is Corey was out for a night, invited out for a night, some school friends, some popular school friends, and Corey doesn't get invited out often. Corey doesn't really get out of the house much. Corey doesn't really have a friend, and it's the first time that Corey's been invited out since their parents passed away, apparently, from what I was told. I was actually going to see if we could swing by and check on Corey, but it looks like we're already doing that. So, hey, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Well, I will say that if it turns out Ashlyn is with Corey, even when Ashlyn is partaking in drinking, and she doesn't really do alcohol. She doesn't really do drugs, but when she is drinking, she does have a good head on her shoulders.
Good.
I don't know if Corey drinks.
Neither do I, but I do know that I will tear whatever place apart to look after that kid.
I'm aware, Echo. Don't worry, from what we've seen, Corey's got a good head on their shoulders. But I also know they are a 17-year-old child. And 17-year-olds don't typically make the best choices.
They don't. I didn't.
Neither did I.
It's part of the fun of growing up, though.
That it is. As you guys turn down the one street that leads to the location that Marx's daughter gave, you do see there seem to be some lights, some flashlights going. You can hear the faint sound of music thanks to your advanced hearing. And you do see out front on one of the benches near a bus stop a small group of people. Can you roll me a D10 real fast? I just gotta check something.
Just a single D10?
Just a single D10. We're not doing a roll yet.
8.
All right. You actually recognize 3 of the 5 people there. You, of course, recognize your ward, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Although you didn't recognize them right away because they are not wearing their usual ombre orange sweater. They actually have what appears to be a bright pink leather jacket over top of it, like someone lent it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You also recognize Timothy from Catcalls,
Mm-hmm.
who is standing off to the side because he was been one of your drivers before. And surprisingly, you recognize the girl that is sitting off to the side, animately chatting. Although you don't know her as Ashlyn, but you recognize Ashley from Scrabble Latte. And you see how she currently appears to be missing a foot as her legs are just kicking, pant legs slightly swishing. And beside them, well, standing off to the side is a young man who appears to be in his late teens, early 20s, black hair, black ensemble, thick leather jacket, looking absolutely bored, and sitting beside Corey, who is bouncing with excitement. A girl who appears to be in her late teens, possibly around the same age as Corey. She has long, dirty blonde hair that's done up in a high ponytail. She has bright blue eyes. She currently is only wearing a t-shirt with what appears to be like a chibi potion bottle on it. So you can surmise, given the fact of how cold it is, that this is the girl that gave Corey the jacket. And they're all chatting as Marcus begins to slowly drive down the street in case stupid drunk teenagers decide to try and jump in front of his truck.
I'll crank up the heightened senses into hearing. What are they talking about?
Currently, Ashlyn is geeking out about the architecture of the building, mainly on how none of it was up to code. The girl that's sitting beside Corey is like, you should be more concerned with the fact that you nearly fell through the floor than the architecture of the building. And Corey's just like nodding their head in agreement. And as Marcus drives up closer and closer, can you roll me a wits awareness, please?
Oh god, here we go. 1 second. 4 and 3 for 7. Down to 2 hunger. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 hunger dice make 7. That's 3 successes, it looks like. And if that's a fail, one of them's on a hunger die.
All right. Luckily, you only needed 2. So, as Marcus is driving up, he's going extra slow. The teenagers, all seeing that someone is driving up, all look over. And the 2 you don't recognize look up, and as Marcus's headlights go over them, you actually see their eyes do a light refraction, similar to cats or nocturnal creatures.
Have they spotted me yet?
They've spotted the truck.
Lean over to Marcus slightly. I don't think 2 of them are human.
One moment as I see if Marcus catches that. He clicks his tongue slightly. I don't think so either.
Might I suggest something? I'm gonna make myself inconspicuous for a little while. I was never here. I know you can handle yourself on your own. when you get out of the truck, 1 second. When I get out of the truck, I want you keep the door open for a couple of seconds while I hop out, like you're trying to find something. I'll let you know when I'm out. You shut the door so I don't have to open my door.
All right. I really hope they're kindred.
If they're not, no point in letting them.
If they're not,
no point in letting them know we're here.
Echo, I'll be completely honest. If they aren't kindred and they are what I think they are, they'll know. He says as his car pulls to a slow stop.
What do you think they are?
Let's just say we're not the only creatures of the night around here.
I'm gonna pull a rouse check, which is a fail, which puts me up to 3.
Again!
Yep. And we're gonna pop unseen passage.
As you do that, Marcus turns off the truck. He opens the car door wide. Then he actually opens the back door, leaving his front door open as if he is looking for something.
And I will hop out.
He waits at least 10 seconds before closing both doors. Walking up, you do see the two that had the light refraction both noticeably tense up. The boy has a slight colder look in his face. The girl, on the other hand, she still has like a very carefree smile, but noticeably drapes an arm around Corey's shoulder, pulling them close. Corey blushes a very bright red as Corey looks up, recognizing Marcus. Marcus gives them a pointed look, and they don't say anything as Marcus walks up and just like, Ashlyn, Evangeline, Blackwood, what did you do this time? Sup, Pops? I was having such a good time. I met these guys here, she says, gesturing to the group as a whole, when I went to go do some shots. And we were talking upstairs and just having fun and stuff. And all of a sudden, one of the boards, I guess it was really, really, really rotted, broke. And my foot fell through. And this guy, she points to the boy, panicked when I started to fall through. And he pulled me out. And I guess my foot got stuck on one of the T-bars. God, I'm going for architecture. Why can't I remember the name of it? It got jammed into one of the bars, and when he pulled, he is so strong, that Pops. So strong. It got stuck. So it kind of went, and now it's, yeah. Marcus just slow blinks as if completely used to this. And the foot is, the boy, without a word, just holds it up. The foot with the shoe still intact, luckily. But he still has a rather cold expression on his face.
I'm gonna walk around for a moment. Don't forget, I also have Silence of Death, which basically makes me silent if I'm moving and can't be and not observed. That's a passive thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
right?
I should be like pretty fucking silent. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna stand right near. I'm gonna stand near Corey. I'm gonna watch those two to see if they're tracking me.
So the girl, the one who has her arm around Corey's shoulders, seems to be much more focused on Marcus. You do notice that Corey, the girl, seems to gently squeeze Corey's shoulder in almost a protective manner when she sees Marcus step a little closer, kneeling down to roll up Ashley's pant leg to like examine the now broken off stub that you know for a fact these things are built to last.
Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to break easily.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of force put into it. So this guy who saved her from going through
Mm-hmm.
might have strength that rivals Marcus's. And speaking of said boy, when you glance over, you do see, as if he can see you, he is staring right at the spot where you were standing. All right, so Ashley, are you okay though? You didn't like scrape your leg or anything? Well, I mean, yeah, I scraped my leg, but it's fine. It's my fake one. If anything, I kind of gave what's your name again, sweetie? She says, looking at Corey, and Corey's like, Corey? Yeah, I gave Corey here like a heart attack, and I feel so bad about that. And they were being so sweet about it and tried saying that they Corey just nods their head. Thank you. They could like let me share their ride back to like the hospital or whatever, but I know for a fact that you're all like, oh, hospitals are bullshit. I'll be there forever, especially since I'm not physically hurt. Like, what are they gonna do? Weld my foot back on? The girl who is holding Corey's shoulder just like, um, so quick question, Mr. Marcus looks at the girl. Blackwood. Mr. Blackwood, so nice to meet you. Um, so you're her dad? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. Perfect. We're sorry for bugging you, but we can definitely take her to the hospital or wherever. You didn't need to come out. Ashlyn just blinks like, you're the ones that said to call my dad. He's here. This is Pops. He's just doing what he does. A little overprotective, but uh-huh. I just don't want it to bite you in the ass later, the girl says, looking at Ashlyn, who just has a blank look on her face like, I don't think it will.
I'm gonna lean in real close, get as close as I can without actually touching this girl and Corey. I'm gonna drop my unseen passage. I wouldn't make threats if I were you, and I'd probably let this one go.
Okay. So a few things happen at once. The girl who has a protective arm around Corey senses you, sees you pop up. She looks at you, and you see as her very lovely blue eyes turn a shade of ember yellow. And she lets out a snarl as she like grips Corey's shoulder, has Corey go down to her lap as she just lets out a very vicious growl at you.
You'd better make sure that's the path you want to take. If I wanted to get the upper hand on you, I would have already done it. But that's not why I'm here.
Bold of you to assume you could bleach.
Bold of you to assume I wouldn't go down fighting and taking you with me since you have your hand on my charge. You sure that's the path you want to go down tonight? I'm being rather peaceful at the moment.
She is still glaring at you before Corey pipes up. Hi, Echo.
Corey, get in the truck.
I would if I could. Before this escalates, though, Corey says, Echo, Josie, Corey, this is the girl that invited me out. She's my friend from school. Very nice, slightly protective.
There's a reason.
Did not realize she was this strong.
There's a reason for that. I'm not mad.
Josie is still glaring at you.
Look, I'm not here to cause issues. I just wanted to make a point. Okay? I got no beef with you, so long as we all walk out of here in one piece.
The girl, Josie, still glaring at you, speaks. Applecore, are you sure you know this person? Yes, Josie, they're the one that took me in, who's been looking after me the past week or so. And they haven't done anything aside from give me food? No.
And a place to continue studies, brand new camera, a roof, and kept out of harm's way. If you would like to be somewhat amicable about this, I would not be opposed to chatting. Echo's voice has gone pretty low at the growl, but he's still somewhat pleasant at the moment. The tone, anyways.
Marcus, you hear let out a long sigh as he looks at Ashley. I'm sorry about this, sweet pea, but I'm going to need you to fall asleep right now. And you see the girl, slump. And she is out like a light. You hear soft snoring coming from her as Marcus stands up, brushing dust off of his pants. So the fact that you haven't outright attacked us tells me you're most likely with Ryder's Pack. At the name, both of them perk up slightly. They actually look over. It's very dog-like in a way, like when a canine hears the name of its owner. What's it to you? That's what I thought.
Right.
All right.
Go ahead.
Marcus just pinches the bridge of his nose. Oh, that's what I thought.
Would that be the rider I'm thinking of?
If you're thinking of Ryder Willower, the gentleman who often comes by the Pussycat once in a while and goes to Seraphina's office, yes.
Can't say that name.
Yes, most likely he is a... You can see he's trying to say something, but something is preventing him from doing so.
look over at the girl.
She still has. So currently, Corey is basically kind of halfway lying on this girl's lap. She has her arm over top of Corey's collarbone and shoulders, very much in a position where if things got turned bad, this girl could essentially just like use her body to shelter Corey. Corey does not appear to want to move right now, either for fear of something happening, but you also see they are blushing a very bright red at this entire situation. And the girl, who you heard Corey refer to as Josie, glances at you from the corner of her eye.
Do I need to call Isabella?
At that name, her face instantly changes from like the stern, borderline snarl to confused, like, wait, you know the pup?
Who do you think invested in me?
Why would she invest in you?
We have friends in common. She was looking for something to do. I gave her something to do. She and I are on good terms. Very good terms. Please don't make this difficult.
Give her a call, and if she can vouch for you, then we'll see where this goes.
Take out my phone, and I'll dial Isabella's number.
It rings for a few times before you hear a man's voice answer, and in the background you hear Isabella yelling at someone on how she doesn't need to eat any damn soup. And you hear the voice say, "This is the pup's phone. This is this is Chance speaking. How may I direct your call?"
I need to talk to Isabella, please.
She is currently being forced to eat soup because she realized and told the rest of us that she hasn't eaten in like 5 days.
Yeah, she tends to do that. I need her on the phone for a couple of minutes, please. You can get back to torturing her with food later.
All right, fine. Pup, no, stop trying to bite me. That won't work here. You lack the proper teeth. And you're too young for that with me right now. Hold still. And you hear like the sound of a muffled scrapple, and you just hear, "Hello?"
Hi, Isabella. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll put her on.
Please interrupt.
I'll put her on speaker.
Please interrupt. Please come save me. They're forcing soup. This is the second bowl of soup, Shadow. I don't need another bowl of soup.
Isabella, it's Echo. Do you know somebody by the name of Josie by any chance?
Josie actually speaks up. "It's Josephine." "Oh, the preppy one. Yes."
Would you kindly tell her to let Corey go, please?
Wait, what? Why? What's going on there? Well, Pup.
Corey went out to a party with people she didn't know and ended up with some people that, well, you live with a few of them, if I'm not mistaken.
First of all, Josephine says, "I've known Corey for like 6 months now since I transferred to their school. We're not strangers. I was the one that invited them out."
I get that. However, you two also threatened Marcus, did you not?
We weren't going to act on it.
And I had no way of knowing that. And considering Corey here is under my charge for the moment, I acted in our best interest. I didn't touch you. I didn't hurt you. I have been rather amicable, but my patience is running out.
You
Isabella.
hear Isabella sigh. Josie, please let Corey go. They're also a friend of mine. Echo's good people. They're not going to do anything to Corey. And for that matter, anyone that Marcus is with, leave them alone too. Please. Josie has a scowl on her face before she looks down at Corey and with your heightened senses, you can hear her whisper to Corey, "Do you feel safe with them?" And Corey just looks up and nods truthfully. You see Josie looking at Corey for a long moment before letting out a sigh and slowly raising her arm so that Corey can sit up again.
Thank you, Isabella. I'll be in touch soon. Might need
Come
to.
save me.
I will be
Come
there.
save me. Make them.
I will be there as soon as I can.
Why don't I believe you?
I will be there as soon as I can. I need to wrap this up first.
You hear someone cut through the phone they are fine. She is just being a
Isabella?
brat. Yeah. You hear the original voice that answered, who you think you heard him refer to himself as Chance. She's fine. We're having her eat soup. She's just being a brat, and she's also... We're dealing with a bit of shit here at the hospital, and if we have any newcomers come here, I can't guarantee there's not going to be our own kind of frenzy. Besides, I think I hear her coterie coming through the hospital. So
I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
no problem. You have a good night. Oh, and by the way, Josephine, you hear the voice call out, Shadow's gonna want to have a word with you when you get back. Did you fucking tattle on me, you little snitch? Well, it's either that or I bring the dad with.
Click. Okay.
Oh.
Now that that has been cleared up, we have no problem. That being said, you've known Corey for what, 6 months?
Yeah, I had to transfer to her school because sorry. And you notice that Josephine actually looks at Corey and says, "Sorry, Apple Corey, I'm trying. Yeah, I transferred to their school 6 months ago because, well, I was at another school on the other side of the city, but the pack kind of had some issues, so we were taken in by the Alpha in this area. So me and Dewey over here kind of had to transfer.
Okay. I'm going to run Lie Detector. It's passive, but it's a free level 1. It is an Auspex from the Vampire Player's Guide, page 28. I'm going to run Intelligence plus Auspex versus Composure and Subterfuge.
Okay.
1 second. Intelligence is here. Lots of Auspex like that. Just basically get replaced with. I need that here. Three successes.
Okay. She is being completely truthful. Everything she has said, from something happened with her previous pack. Well, actually, no. That one, there seems to be not a lie, but not the full truth. But the rider taking them in, transferring to Corey's school, befriending them, all of that is 100% truthful.
So what actually happened?
So this girl over here, we were upstairs and their foot fell through.
No, I meant what happened at your old school that you had to transfer. I'm not judging, I'm just asking so I can get a layout of who you are as a person, that's all. Okay?
Well, it wasn't so much of the school itself, but the pack.
Mm-hmm.
The pack I was in was nomadic, which was getting kind of annoying. And then I may or may not have accidentally bitten Dewey.
Dewey is...
The guy that's still glaring at you.
Okay.
But that wasn't the full reason. Like, I did that a while ago, like a year and a half ago. She's lying, by the way.
So why don't you tell me what actually happened? It's written all over you. If you want me to, like, have a little bit of faith in you, it's probably going to go better if you don't lie.
Dewey and I killed our old alpha.
For what reason?
He wasn't a good person.
Is she lying?
Nope.
That I can get behind. We're cool.
The other pack members weren't too happy about that. They're nomadic, though, so they left us behind. And Ryder took us in. Though he did mention a whole, like, I didn't fucking want kids, and now I have, like, a small army of them.
Mm-hmm. So, in that case, I would like to propose something. Normally, from what I gather, we don't like each other. Normally.
No, but our alpha has a truce with you
He has a
guys.
soft spot, doesn't he?
Well, yes, but we can't say that because then he'll crush our skulls.
You can. I can. What's he going to do to me?
Crush your skull.
He won't touch me.
1 second. Okay. Where were we?
Normally, we're not supposed to like each other, right? But your alpha has a bit of a soft spot.
It's a truce.
Yeah.
Apparently some shit happened like 20 years ago when he was first turned. Met up with, Seraphina, I think her name is. Has a truce with them. He has become one of the strongest werewolves in this region in like a fraction of the time of some of our elders.
Might have something to do with the fact that he doesn't always jump to violence. He knows how to protect his own without showing brute force. Seems like you might have some things to learn yet.
Hey, I only joined his pack like a year ago.
Trust me, if you stick around, I think you're going to be happy. From what I've gathered,
Oh, I am.
Ryder's good people. The crew that he hangs out with is good people. But normally we don't like each other. I don't personally give two damn shits about that. How long have you,
Have I...
been running with the packs, for lack of better words.
Me and Dewey were born.
So, here's the thing. Corey, you'll forgive me if I speak out of turn here, but this is going to be for your own good.
Corey is looking at you.
There are times when I am not available to watch over Corey, and that is something that cannot be tolerated. Corey's had a bit of a rough life. You seem to have developed a bit of an attachment to Corey now.
You hear Dewey mutter, "That's an understatement."
You too, Dewey? And
I'm just trying to make sure my sister doesn't do something stupid.
Stupid.
He doesn't want to say it. Like howl in the middle of the school. That was one time I got really excited. And he doesn't want to say it, but he also likes apple core here. She says that she wraps her arms around Corey and holds her close. They are our little adorable bean.
I get that.
And they're cute enough to eat, but we won't eat you, she says, looking at Corey, because that would be a form of cannibalism. And cannibalism is bad.
Then how about this? When I'm not able to watch over Corey because they're in class or in school, we split the duty. We're cordial to one another. You don't have to like me. I don't give two shits if you like me or not. But you seem to, again, like them. And it's Corey that I'm worried about. Because I'm looking into some things, and again, I can't always be there, and sometimes I get myself into spots of trouble, and I don't want Corey catching slack for that, and I can't think of anyone better. I mean, we know that you guys are stronger than we are. Which means...
I mean, we are, yes.
Somebody comes after Corey, they're going to meet a brick wall. Makes logical sense, yeah?
Yes. You do notice that you can tell that Josephine is most likely the version of a golden retriever incarnate, because currently, this whole time that she's been listening to you, she's been hugging Corey and pressing her cheek against theirs, and Corey seems completely unfazed to this.
I'm assuming...
Like this is a regular Tuesday.
I'm assuming you don't have a problem with that. Do you, Corey?
I mean, I wasn't able to really hang out with people before since I was on the streets and stuff. So no, I don't have an issue with it. New friends! Josephine says as she nuzzles Corey's cheek, and Corey just winces at the sudden sound in her voice, at the sound in the voice in her ear.
With that, I'll also extend something else. Once we get our place up and running properly after it's been fixed, and yes, they're gutting it and giving it a makeover there, Corey.
Oh.
You're welcome to come over and visit.
Can Corey come for sleepovers at our place?
So long as you two are in attendance and you're looking out after Corey, I don't have a fucking problem with that.
Well, it wouldn't just be us. It would be the pack. So
I get that. So long as you two are in attendance and you've got Corey's best interest at heart, I don't have a problem with that. But you two have to be there. Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind Corey going anywhere with you two at the moment, provided that deal remains in place. And if you need help, I'll even give you my phone number. Like, if you need a helping hand with something, I'll give you my phone number. You basically have me at a text or a phone call.
Josephine is just like nodding her head quickly as Dewey just lets out a sigh and takes out a business card, surprisingly, and hands it to you.
And I will do the same too. Split them in my fingers, hand one to each.
Josephine takes it, stuffs it in her bra. Dewey just puts it in his back pocket.
I am so glad that you decided not to jump. It makes me happy. I understand.
Ryder says we're not allowed to jump first.
I understand that it was risky business doing what I did. Could have gone really badly, but again, I had to make a point. My apologies for that. Yeah?
Fine. Dewey, who had his phone out, speaks up. By the way, the boss says we can't keep the other one either.
Oh. What other one?
He points at Ashley, who is asleep, and you actually see how Marcus looks at him with this like growl in his tone.
Marcus, chill for a sec, will ya? I think this could be beneficial. Your daughter's a little squishy, yeah?
I'm also trying to make sure she knows as little about our world as possible.
I understand.
That's why I have her asleep.
I understand that, and what I'm thinking is that having these two here looking out for her as well might not be a bad thing.
We totally would, but we go to different schools.
Maybe a transfer could be put in order.
I mean, we can look into it.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to Marcus.
That is something I'll have to discuss with Ashlyn when she wakes up.
Give them all friends.
But no, you're not keeping her, he says, looking at Dewey. Dewey holds up his hands. Look, the second we saw what you guys were, we weren't sure if this was a weird blood doll adoption thing situation. We once saw a kindred who literally pretended to be foster care people just so they would have like constant food sources.
I'm thinking it'd be friends for all of them. They'd have new people to hang out with. As much as I know you don't like the term, what is it you guys use? Pack? They could have their own little pack together and get through the tough times at schools. We all know school's a rough time for kids.
Why do you think I'm taking a gap year? Dewey says.
Yeah. I think having these two looking out for them would probably be... It'd probably help things run a little smoother, no?
I will discuss it with Ashlyn and see what she thinks. Are we taking the bean home with us?
Corey, that's your call.
Timothy speaks up because he kind of let this all go. Does this mean if Corey is... So, am I still needed? Because I kind of just been like their chauffeur / bodyguard.
I would not be opposed to you staying for the night. Just to keep an eye on things.
Okay, I can do that.
I'll turn to Corey. Corey, what do you think? Do you want to go or do you want to stay?
They look conflicted before looking at Josephine and saying, I've had a lot of fun, but I'm also really tired and my social battery is dead. And Josephine has like an almost super apologetic look. Oh my god, did we run out your social battery without knowing? I'm so sorry. Honey, why didn't you say something sooner? She says, like, grabbing Corey by the shoulders and gently shaking them, like, if I had known, I would have, like, gotten you home sooner.
Do you know Seraphina's place?
I know of it.
Do you know where it is?
No, but I know someone who does.
That's where we're staying for the moment.
Oh,
Why don't you come visit tomorrow?
okay. I can do that. Corey shrugs off the bright pink leather jacket that they had been wearing, hands it back to Josie as they stand up looking at you guys like, I think I'm ready to go home.
I'll nod. Open my arm. Motion to Corey.
Corey follows.
Do you need any help with the other one, Marcus?
You look over. Marcus has gently awoken Ashley. Ashley has her arms around Marcus's neck, and he has lifted her with one hand or one arm and is currently holding her severed foot in the other. Like, I'm fine, but thank you for asking.
All right. I'd call that a fairly successful night.
Could have gone better. Wasn't exactly how I thought the night would go, but
could have gone worse.
That it could have. All right, let's get you kids home.
Motion to the truck for Corey.
Corey hops into the back with Ashlyn as Marcus is discussing something softly with Dewey. He's shaking his head, and Dewey's just looking slightly apologetic and basically saying, no, we're not going to tell your boss. You're fine, son.
I'll pop up heightened senses. I want to hear this.
Dewey is speaking to Mark. It's like, listen, you gotta understand, we were following instinct, and this situation doesn't look great. We're not used to seeing you guys having kids. Marcus just holds up a hand like, I understand completely, and I'm gonna guess you know how old I am or have a sense of it. And he's like, yeah, you're too old to be her dad. It's like, adoption's a thing for a reason. And relax, I'm not gonna tell your boss. You didn't do anything, you spewed some threats. If I got into a huff every time I was threatened, son, I would have no time on my hands.
Your secret dies with me.
You're already dead.
Well, that was easy.
Marcus just chuckles, pats Dewey on the shoulder, looks at Josephine, who's just like grinning widely, and if a human had a tail to wag, it would be like that. And he's like, you two have a ride home? And Josephine nods. Oh yeah, we have Dewey's bike. It's round back. It's like, all right, you guys get home safe. Give your boss my regards. Actually, I'm surprised you two are out. I heard there was some ruckus that happened. Oh, yeah. We were planning to come to this party anyway, so you can imagine our surprise when we open up our eyes and be like, oh dang, it's party time. And I knew I wanted to invite Applecore, and I was so grateful that they said yes. But yeah, we're still figuring that out. We're having the doc try to figure some things out. If the boss can keep his hands off her long enough, but we'll see how that goes. That's none of our business. But yeah. Marcus, who looks like that was too much information for him, nods. All right, get home safe. Timothy, good lad. Before he walks back around and enters the truck, closing the door.
Get in the truck and close the door. And turn around to Corey in the seat. Apple core, really?
I can't control what she calls me!
Okay. So the good news is, you're not hurt.
No.
I'm glad. We're gonna need to have a chat when we get home. You're not in trouble. But we do need to talk about a few things.
Is it the fact I went out without asking you first?
We'll talk about things when we get back to the Velvet Pussycat. For now, just bask in the knowledge that you've made some new friends. And that I actually approve of them.
That's good.
I'm not mad.
I asked Draven if he wanted to come, but he said it wasn't really his scene, but he'd take a rain check. That makes Marcus pause mid-turning on the truck. Looking over his shoulder. What? Corey blinks. I invited him out, but he said he was busy, but he'd take a rain check? Oh, that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear, Marcus says, as he turns on the truck.
I'm gonna remain silent while we drive back.
Marcus is completely comfortable in the silence. He doesn't automatically go to the Velvet Pussycat. You actually see that he stops outside a residential area that's about a 10-minute drive from the Velvet Pussycat, and it's in a very nice gated community.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat close to where Rhonda's parents had lived, but a bit further west. He goes to the back. He picks up a very sleepy Ashlyn, who is just muttering something about architecture terms as he carries her in to the house, and a couple of minutes later comes back out, locks the door behind him, gets back in the truck, and starts to drive you guys back to the Velvet Pussycat.
Okay, now that Ashlyn's out of the truck. Did you know about them, Corey?
Did I know about them being creatures of the night? No. So, I met Josephine the first day that her and her brother transferred in.
Mm-hmm.
I was assigned to be like their shadow to show them around, which I thought, oh great, new people who will make fun of me for wearing clothes that are obviously threadbare and whatever. But she was just super nice, and her brother was cool, and they ended up chatting with me a lot, and they tried to invite me out several times, but it was like I couldn't in case I missed the chance to get into the shelters and stuff, and they've just always invited me out, and I thought eventually, oh, they'll get bored of it. And this week it was the first time they invited me out, and I felt confident enough to know. I didn't know they were... What are they exactly? She says, looking at Marcus, and he says, werewolves. Corey blinks. Gesundheit?
Werewolves.
Those are real?
There's a lot of stuff that's real, apparently. A lot of stuff you're going to have to get used to. Don't let them bite you.
I wasn't going to!
Until you are absolutely sure it's something you want. And come talk to me about it first.
Concerned should I be with the fact that I am friends with werewolves? If anything, you should be honored you're friends with werewolves. They don't typically befriend mortals.
Second, I hope this illustrates a very... I hope this illustrates a point for you. We are everywhere. We blend in, and you never know who we are. You also never know what our intentions are. When I showed up tonight, I had no idea what they were planning with you. And I would be lying if I said that my mind hadn't gone to the place and told me their goal was to abscond with you tonight. Which is why I approached things diplomatically like I did, while still driving home. The point the way I did.
I don't think that's what their goal was. I think Josephine was just excited that I agreed to finally hang out.
I understand that, and I get that now. But I want you to think for a moment about what it looked like for me driving up with Marcus and seeing what they were before I got out of the truck, and then seeing you in their arms. Without knowing without knowing who they were. I'm not mad. This is a safety lesson, kid. Now that I've gotten to know them a little bit, pleasantries have been exchanged, nobody fucking died, and we have a bit of a deal struck to watch out for you. Because I'm sorry, but you're kind of squishy, kid. We have a deal struck to look out for you. I don't have a problem with you hanging out with them.
Josephine said something about going thrifting tomorrow, and her phone dings. Her phone dings as they look down, blinking. Oh, apparently Isabella's been invited to go too.
I don't have a problem with that, now that I know them. But I would be lying if I said my hackles weren't up tonight. And I want you to know...
Are we going to tell Marisol?
No, we are not.
Okay.
Marisol will have my
She'll
head.
kill us. And she'll have mine.
I also want you to know that I was prepared to lay down my life. Unlife, whatever the hell it's called.
Thanks, Echo.
You got family. It's what we are, huh? It's what we're building here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I know you may not completely understand it now, especially given some of the shit that you've been through, and it may seem like I'm overreacting. But you've got promise. You've got potential. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going to tell you this until it was already done, but Marcus and I are looking into some things. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but I may be looking at signing adoption papers.
And can you even do that?
We're going to find out. If not, I'm sure we know somebody who can.
They have a very neutral expression on their face at hearing this.
If you want. If you don't want it, we'll drop it.
Echo, I'm going to be honest, this isn't the first time I've heard someone say they're going to sign adoption papers.
I've got them in my pocket. Marcus is talking to a contact of his, and we're going to see if we can fill out the paperwork rather soon.
Forgive me if I say I'll believe it when I see it.
That's understandable.
Wait, speaking of you two, why were you... I understand why Marcus came, because Ashlyn called him. Were you guys off doing, like, another case or something?
No, honey, we were on a date. We went to see a cheesy movie. I'd been told that you went out with some friends. We went to see a movie, and then Marcus got a call, and I decided to tag along.
Sorry for interrupting your date?
You're safe. That's all that matters.
Marcus pipes in. There's always next time.
I look forward to it. Maybe a little more than a movie, huh?
We'll see if we get called away for another disaster.
But my point remains. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Good. Nobody needs to know that you were hanging out with wolves tonight if you don't want them to. That's our...
I'm more concerned about how Marisol is gonna react when she finds out I've been hanging out with wolves.
If you need help easing her into it, you let me know and I'll have a chat with her.
Okay. Is this a bad time to bring up the fact that my foster parents might have been contacted because I missed a few days of school because we were hiding out at Seraphina's?
Yeah, I know about that. I'm aware that there was a voicemail left, which we're going to be looking into at some point. Do you know how long they're out of town for?
I know this time of year they typically go on like some big family vacation. They go up down south for like a couple of weeks and stuff. It's why they typically don't take placements this time of year unless it's long term.
Do you know how long they're gone for?
If it's the usual, another week or two.
That gives us a week to get in and look at the recording. Do they have an answering machine or voicemail?
They have both, just in case of a power outage.
Do you know where the message was left?
I mean, if you want, I could go during the day tomorrow and deal with it.
What time is it?
It is, let's see, so you guys went out to a movie, then you went to go collect the kiddos. So I'd say it's about 2 a.m.
I'm thinking we should swing by tonight just to make sure they don't have time to pick it up remotely.
Okay. I mean, They pause for a long moment before they dig into their back pocket and slowly hold up a key. I may or may not have completely on accident snagged this the last time I left.
Good. I'll go with you.
So for my clarification, we're doing some B&E?
Not B&E. It's not breaking and entering if you have a way in. And, I mean, technically, Corey lives there.
Marcus looks over his shoulder. Corey, legally, do you still use that place as your place of address? I mean, I haven't had a chance to update the office on, like, my current address, so, yeah. As far as my social worker is concerned. So legally, they can come and go as they please there.
And they can't do anything to me if they can't see me.
All right, Corey, what's the address? I can just go tomorrow. We'll go now.
We're going tonight.
Don't you guys want to get back to your date instead of dealing with this, though? I don't know. This could be an interesting way to go.
I agree.
You guys are weird,
Yeah.
Corey says as Marcus drives.
Yeah, we keep telling you that.
All right, with that, I'm calling this to a close.